To do photosynthesis, photo from light, because it needs light. Synthesis means making things. Synthesis, there it is. To do photosynthesis, plants need carbon dioxide and water and sunlight. Now the water gets from the roots up to the leaf where the chlorophyll is, that's doing all the putting things together, putting the carbon dioxide together with the water to give you sugars and oxygen. The root hairs on the roots absorb the water. This is usually in the soil. And the water gets sucked up the stem of the plant in the xylem. And xylem is a kind of weird word because it's one of the very few words you can use with an X in it. The xylem is actually dead. And this is what makes the wood of tables and chairs to make tables and chairs. You use xylem. So you can see the xylem, and there's the xylem. It's a line of dead plant cells that have died for a reason. They've died so that it gives a tube, very thin tube, that will suck up the water. That's called transpiration. I haven't got transpiration, but I've got piration because I needed respiration. Piration, respiration. Now, plants do respiration day and night, and so do fungi, and so do animals. We're all very closely related. And that's like, oh, I'm related to a plant. Much more related to a plant than you are to, well, bacteria. There's lots of different types of bacteria. You and plants and fungi, you're all eukaryota. You look through a microscope at you plants and fungi and you've all got mitochondria. Mitochondria is where the respiration goes on. It looks like gummy teeth under a microscope. So, respiration day and night for humans, plants, fungi. It's what changes food into the energy for life, is respiration. Good. Now, when respiration happens in you and plants and mushrooms, it's the same reaction each time. Respiration requires oxygen, and respiration requires sugars, and respiration makes carbon dioxide, oxide, dioxide, because there's two oxygens in CO2, carbon dioxide. The respiration gets sugars and oxygen to make carbon dioxide and water. It's the exact opposite reaction of photosynthesis. So plants spend their day doing photosynthesis and respiration, but you can't see the effects of the respiration a plant does during the day because it does so much photosynthesis. So the photosynthesis effect is much, much bigger than the respiration. But at night, you can see, test for, get the gases from respiration from plants. It's a shame we don't do photosynthesis. I'd be green if I could use photons of light and photosynthesis to make energy. Mind you, that means I wouldn't need to eat so much. And I kind of like eating. Right. So photosynthesis, respiration, total opposite reactions. If you remember one, you just write it down the other way around to get the other one. Good. The other thing that plants get from the soil are minerals. Now, minerals, you need tiny amounts of minerals. Lots of people think, oh, where did that tree get the treeness from? Oh, it sucked it out of the soil. No, there'd be a hole around every tree if it got it from the soil. It gets it from the air. What makes up a tree is mostly carbon and oxygen and hydrogen. Gets it from the air and the water. Tiny amounts of minerals, so minimal amounts of minerals are needed in small amounts to make the DNA for plants. Yeah, I told you, DNA. Plants, you, fungus, you all have DNA in nucleuses. Bacteria don't have nucleuses. Some bacteria don't even have DNA. So, it's very, very different from you, plants and funguses. Not just you, but everybody. Now, the minerals, the ones that plants are often lacking, are phosphates. So, phosphates are finished with 8. So, phosphates. P for phosphorus, and phosphates, because it's got ATE, means there's oxygen in there as well. Phosphate chemicals are absorbed by the roots. The root hairs absorb the water and the minerals, and they're sucked up, go up the xylem to give the leaves the DNA it needs so the leaves can get bigger, they can grow. Phosphates and also nitrates. Lots of farmers have to put nitrate fertilizers and phosphate fertilizers on their crops to grow their potatoes and other crops. They have to year by year replace the minerals that the plants are taking out. So nitrates, ATE means there's oxygen involved with the chemical. But nitrates also have nitrogen, hence the capital N. Nitrates are, nitrogen. Well, there's nitrogen in the air, but unfortunately we can't just grab it out of the air. Very few plants can do that. There's one called clover that has a special type of bacteria that's in its roots that can grab the nitrogen out of the air. And that's where the phrase comes from, he's living in clover, which means you're doing really well, you're really rich. Right, what else have I got? Oh, yes. The oxygen comes out of the stomata by diffusing. Diffusing is the random movement of gases. Random. The gases around you, all the molecules are moving randomly. And that random movement, the random movement, gives you diffusion. Hold on, where's diffusion gone? Oh, yeah. Diffusion. You need diffusion to get the gases in and to get the gases out. It's just random movement. Good. That's how leaves are.